3-year-old fatally shot after his mother called the cops to save him. Here it is.
Show me your hands. Show me your other hand. Stop! Stop right there. Stop! You got a gun to the chest? Hey, gun! You move that here so he doesn't have sight on. Hey, you need to put that down, man. Hey, take the shot. He's holding the kid. He's heading north. I'm losing sight. I've lost sight of him. He's coming towards us. Coming towards us. Hey! Show me your hand. Show me your other hand. Stop! Stop right there. Stop! You got a gun to the chest? You got something? Gun! Back. We're going up back here. Hey, you need to put that down.
Right there you can see Baker has the gun pointed at the child's chest. At this time, officers approached Baker to take him into custody and observed the firearm still in his hand. They also observed that Baker and the child had been struck by gunfire.
The mother called the police to report that their lives were being threatened. The mother and the child, that their lives were being threatened. This was about 1:20 in the morning. Police come. They kill the suspect and the child. Put it up for a mass. It was unbelievable. Raneka Pate, 28-year-old black woman. I'm taking you to Las Vegas. Called police last month to report that her boyfriend was threatening to kill her, their 3-year-old son, and himself. But according to Pate, Las Vegas police showed up and killed both the father and the son. Pate is now preparing to file a wrongful death lawsuit. Police said they killed the father, Quentin Baker, but blamed the father for killing his son, Kentra Baker. They have shown selected portions of body camera footage to reporters during a press conference, but it does not provide a clear view of how the toddler was killed. There's more. It was 1:20 a.m. on a Tuesday when Las Vegas Metropolitan Police arrived at the apartment complex in response to a call from Pate, who said Baker was threatening to kill them all. When police arrived, Pate was standing outside the apartment complex and told cops that Baker was inside the apartment with a gun and the child. Police placed Pate in the back of a patrol car as Baker walked out of the apartment with the boy in his arms. Pate told local media he was not holding the gun, but the video shows he was holding an object pointed at the child. Quote, the suspect exited the residence while pointing a firearm at the juvenile, holding that juvenile hostage, end quote. Las Vegas Police Captain Ryan Wiggins told local media, quote, officers issued verbal commands to the suspect to peacefully surrender, and the suspect refused to comply, end quote. He continued, quote, the suspect approached the officer, still holding the juvenile hostage, causing our officers to discharge their firearms, striking the suspect. Simultaneously, the suspect while pointing his firearm in the direction of the juvenile, discharged his firearm. So they're saying that simultaneously as the suspect is being shot, he somehow, at the exact same time, shoots his child. Now, there's more. Police say both the father and officers fired simultaneously. But the video shows a muzzle flash from an officer's gun and no clearly visible similar muzzle flash from the gun the father was allegedly holding. But police say the boy was struck 3 times, including twice at close range with 1 bullet to the head. They also said the 3rd shot to the boy's leg is undetermined as to where it came from. Wait a minute. Does that make sense to anybody who knows a little bit about forensics, a little bit about somebody being shot and simultaneously shooting at the same time? So you're saying that simultaneously he was able to shoot 3 times. Initially, that was the narrative. Then they said, well, actually, one of the gunshots probably is inconclusive. We really don't know who did it. Well, there's only 2 people with guns, according to your narrative, the police and the suspect. Now, attorneys retained by Pate are demanding police release all of the evidence that would provide a much clearer picture as to what took place in the early hours of February 3rd. Quote, that includes body cam footage, 911 calls, all of the officers that were at the scene, investigating officers, everybody that was involved, end quote. That's what Attorney Markarian told KSNV News. Quote, every single piece of evidence is extremely important to piece this whole story together. But the story that is being portrayed out to the media, to the public, is not the complete and true story, end quote from the attorney. The footage released by police, I want you to see this, shows an image of Baker after having been killed, lying in a pool of blood, holding a pistol in his hand, but the footage does not show him firing a gun. Nevertheless, quote, law enforcement experts interviewed by the Las Vegas Review-Journal who watched the video said the cops were justified in shooting Baker. Quote, in this case, there wasn't any room for negotiation almost from the beginning because he came down with the gun pointed, said Charles Joe Key, a former Baltimore police lieutenant. Metro had no choice, nor did they cause the confrontation, end quote. But that still doesn't answer the question as to whether the child was killed by the cops or his father, okay? Quote, Metro has put out their statement. We don't agree with it, said Kareem Murphy, another attorney representing Pate. Quote, and we're going to do the diligence and footwork so that we can put out a full narrative of what actually happened based on irrefutable evidence. Attorneys told local media that Pate must first be named administrator of her son's estate before she can file a lawsuit. Quote, they are trying to play damage control, but they will pay for killing my son, end quote, she said. This is one of the most unbelievable, heart-wrenching, heartbreaking stories. She called the police to help her and her son, and really the father too. If he's talking about unaliving himself, there's some mental health dynamics happening for sure. He's putting everybody else in danger and talking about unaliving himself. You have a mental health call. They come, they shoot, they ask questions never. If it was as clear as the cops said, you do know they would have released the footage showing clearly they did not kill a child. Clearly they did not shoot a 3-year-old if they had the footage. No police, experts, interviews, conclusions based on somebody else watching the video. If they have the video, they would have released it. Why? Because there's no suspect to investigate. The suspect is dead. There's no ongoing investigation into a suspect. They can't hide behind that. They could release the video. Put up the GoFundMe. Miss Pate, God bless her. This mother has suffered an extreme and unfortunate loss. She has launched a GoFundMe to raise money for the funeral and legal expenses. We want to do the very best we can to assist in honoring the life of her baby shark, Kentra Baker. All right, your brother, thoughts here.
Awful, 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 awful situation. Awful situation. Is it possible that the police narrative is true? I suppose it is possible. It's possible that in the firing back and forth, that the father shot his son. It should be easily proven because you can determine what kind of bullet hit a person. You could do ballistic bullet data and see if his gun was in fact discharged and how many times and where the casing was. So you could do forensics to determine that, and maybe they will and haven't yet. Do I think that this was a justified shooting? I think he probably was indeed experiencing a mental health crisis, but he definitely was a danger to himself and to others, and probably warranted force. Now, I know 100% sure they should not have discharged their gun until they knew that the child was out of harm's way. You don't fire at a person, even if they are holding a deadly weapon, if they're holding a child. So you have to make sure that even if it could have been the potential that you don't be the one to kill a child. It's awful, awful, awful situation. Awful situation. I would, and my thoughts and prayers would go out to them. It seemed like a very difficult situation. I know even if these cops did shoot this baby and it's my dog making noise. Sorry, and attempted to cover their own asses. That's a terrible situation to be in, even in that context. So these officers will probably need to receive mental health treatment for the rest of their lives, being responsible or involved in the death of such a young, innocent child.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man. I'm not a cop, don't want to be. But damn, you seek cover, you see there's a baby. If you have to shoot, you don't aim at the torso where the child is located. Maybe you utilize some of that good target practice training and aim at his leg. Hopefully, the child survived. He's disarmed, or at least he's unstable enough for you to have a clear route to either arrest or to de-escalate ultimately. But you protect the child, period.